In this video, I'm going to show you how to record high-quality audio. Having your sound clips in high quality is essential because it will help the overall quality of your sound clips, which will be very important when you do voiceovers for modules or videos. There are three main components that play a big part in ensuring you record the highest quality audio possible, and they are the environment, the recording device, and your voice. The first component is the environment. It's important that you do your recording in the most conducive environment possible. This is because ambient sounds like traffic, conversations, the hums and buzzes from the air conditioning and fans could reduce your recording quality. For home recording, it is best to have a special room for recording purposes. However, if you don't have it, a quiet room with sound-absorbing objects inside will work too. The objects can be a closet, paneling, wood boards, beds, chairs, sofas, shelves, and curtains. This is to reduce echo bouncing from the walls, floor, and ceiling, which can reduce the recording quality. You can also invest in making a special booth for recording. However, if you think that buying a ready-made recording booth to be too expensive, there are lots of videos online that can teach you how to build your own recording booth at home. The second component is the recording device. This is the most obvious component. No recording can be done without a recording device like microphones or specialized sound recorders. As you may have known, to get high-quality voice, you must go for the premium devices, which unfortunately are very expensive. Some microphones and recording devices may cost thousands of dollars. Don't fret, however. There are actually very affordable microphones that produce very high-quality sound. One such example is the Blue Microphone's Yeti. This is because it has studio-quality sound recording, which is a big plus if you want high-quality audio. It's also very affordable. You can get this online for lower than $150. The third is also the biggest advantage, its plug-and-play properties. You just simply plug into any USB port on your computer, do some simple settings, and you're ready to record. The third component is the source of the sound itself, which is your voice. The main goal of voice recording is to produce crisp, clear sound recordings with a clear voice. If this cannot be achieved, you may find that your recordings are less than satisfactory. During recording, it's worth it if you speak slower. Basically, you slow down a bit from your usual speaking speed. This is because when we speak naturally, we have no interruptions in our speeches compared to recording. Even with a script, you may find yourself stumbling around and speaking in a very unclear way if you try to speak too fast from a script. This brings me to the third point, which is practice. Before doing the final recording, I highly recommend you do 2 to 3 practice recordings and hear them back. This way you can fine-tune your voice, tone, and speed, ensuring the final recording to be your best. The biggest thing that can help you here is a script, which will help you with your speech and ensure a smooth recording session. So there you have it. That was how you can improve your sound recording and produce high-quality audio all the time, every time. Hello and welcome to the podcast video tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll walk you through the steps in creating your own podcast to market your brand and content. First off, what is a podcast? A podcast is most commonly known as Internet radio on demand. It usually comprises of a series of episodes of spoken audio which is often catered towards a specific niche or theme. It is different from traditional radio as it showcases original content and not just a repurpose of the radio's content. Podcasts are readily available online and you're able to subscribe to a podcast and get weekly updates of new episodes. This can be done via the podcast app on your phone, or you can even browse the podcast sites via desktop. You may listen to the podcast anywhere when you have downloaded the podcast series. How to start your own podcast? Starting up your own podcast is not impossible, but it does take some time for beginners. Bear in mind that it's not just simply audio recordings. You need to be committed and consistent in order to generate a loyal following, as well as producing valuable content. In order to produce quality content, you also need suitable equipment to start your podcast. The first equipment you need is a good quality microphone. This is important as you would want to produce crystal clear audio. Therefore, I recommend the Blue Yeti microphone. The Blue Yeti's quality is rich for its cost as compared to other microphones available out there. However, if you're just starting out, any microphone at hand would do, but make sure you're able to produce good audio. The second most important equipment is a computer. Any Windows computer or Mac would work fine to record, edit, and upload your audio recordings. The third equipment you need is an audio editing software. For beginners, I recommend Audacity as it is a free open source program. There are other options to choose from out there, but the license fees can get quite costly. When you have all the suitable equipment at hand and you've recorded your audio, you will then need to search for a place to host your podcasts. This step is crucial as it enables your podcast to be showcased on directories and apps. Where can you host your podcasts? There are a number of places to host your podcast. 1. SoundCloud. You can host your podcast on SoundCloud for free. The good thing about SoundCloud is that you can publish your audio almost instantly on the site itself. This makes it easy for you to share your podcast on various social media platforms. 2. Podbean. Podbean provides multiple platforms for hosting. The service also has its own iOS and Android app for listing. 3. Podomatic. This site is very user-friendly and offers free hosting with a sufficient bandwidth and storage for podcast beginners. There's also a Pro option that allows you more bandwidth. 4. Amazon S3. Amazon S3 does offer a free plan, but your storage is quite limited. They offer a paid service, which is dependent on the storage and bandwidth you use. When you have hosted your podcast, you can now search for directories to get your podcast listed on. There are various platforms where you can get your podcast listed. However, most podcasters will recommend that you get listed on iTunes. iTunes is the most popular directory and has the largest reach as compared to the other directories. Welcome back. In this video tutorial, I'll walk you through the 5 tips to create compelling podcasts. There are 5 tips to produce unique, quality audio content. 1. Focus on your niche. 2. Choose a strong name. 3. Create a cover image. 4. Insert theme music. 5. Add podcast chapters. Firstly, focus on your niche. As you may know, there are various existing podcasts out there. However, you do not need to create an entirely new podcast even though most of the topics are already covered. All you need to do is repurpose and have your own spin of the topics. Make sure you identify your niche as well as your audience. It's better to be as specific and clear as possible on what you want to venture into. For instance, if you choose to create a podcast on internet marketing, you may focus your podcast on how to be a successful internet marketer. The second tip is to choose a strong name for your podcast. The name you choose for your podcast is important as your audience will search for your podcast using it. It also reflects exactly what your podcast is about. Thirdly, you need to create a cover image for your podcast. This is the first thing your audience will see once they come across your podcast. Therefore, it must be captivating enough to attract their attention. An image is also required if you wish to list your podcast on the iTunes directory. Make sure that your podcast cover is also related to your content. The fourth tip is to insert theme music. This will make your podcast more memorable to your listeners. You may access free tunes for your podcast on sites like Free Music Archive and Vimeo's Music Store. The fifth tip is to add podcast chapters. This gives your users more control on what they choose to listen to. They can skip or select segments that they choose to listen to. They work like chapters in a book. When arranging your podcast in chapters, it represents your podcast in a more organized manner. Welcome back. In this video tutorial, you'll learn how to record your podcast using Audacity. The first step is to install and set up Audacity. Audacity is a great software for beginners. You can download Audacity 2.1.3 via audacityteam.org. When you have installed Audacity, you will now need to download and install the lame MP3 encoder to export your recorded audio files to MP3 later on. The next step is to connect your microphone to your device. Check if the software recognizes your microphone by clicking on the drop-down menu next to the small microphone icon. If you can see your mic, select it. On the top left corner, you can see the pause, play, stop, skip back, and skip forward, as well as the record buttons. To ensure that everything is functioning properly, click the record button and record yourself for a few seconds. Now you can play back your recording to ensure that everything is working and sounds good. The next step is to start recording your podcast. Recording via Audacity is quite straightforward. Just click the recording button and record your audio. When you're done recording, you need to save the file in an MP3 format. To do this, go to File, then Export Audio. Next, select MP3 Files in the Save as Type drop-down menu. You then name your file and save it to your desktop. Open your saved MP3 file and try playing it on your preferred MP3 player. This is to ensure your recorded audio is working. As mentioned in the first chapter of this video tutorial, when you have recorded your podcast, you would need to search for a place to host your podcast so it will reach your targeted audience. There are various platforms to host your podcast, such as SoundCloud, Podbean, Amazon S3, Podomatic, and so on. However, for this tutorial, we will only be focusing on SoundCloud as it is user-friendly, especially for beginners. The first step is to sign up for a SoundCloud account. All you need to do is sign up by using an active email address. Remember to use the name of your podcast as the name that displays on your profile. A confirmation email will be sent to you and you can then proceed using SoundCloud. The second step is to complete your profile information. Upload your profile image, add a description of your podcast to your profile's bio, which will then be used as your RSS feed description. In the Links section, add links of your social media accounts. The next step is to adjust your content settings. On the Settings page, click the Content tab. You then need to choose a category for your podcast. There will be various categories to choose from and select what is related to your content. Then click the Contains Explicit Content box, if applicable. Select the Include in RSS feed. You would also want to select Creative Commons license. This will protect your content. Now you can proceed to upload your audio file by checking on Upload on the top right of the page. The upload may take a while depending on the size of your audio file. When you have uploaded your file, you need to fill in the details of the file. This will be your podcast. You would also need to upload an image representing your podcast. When you're done, click Save. Your podcast is now officially published and your RSS feed is ready to be submitted to your preferred podcasting directories, such as iTunes and Stitcher. To submit podcast to iTunes, you need to head back to your settings page and click Content. Copy your RSS feed URL and follow the submission instructions on how to submit your feed to your preferred directory. You are now good to go. Hey there, in this video I'm going to show you how to configure your wishlist member settings after installation. As you can see, there are two types of configuration tabs itself. In the System pages, you notice that this is the page where you can choose to display members who try to access your protected content. For the default setting, you can see a very simple message that tells them that they are not able to view the members area. For starters, you may choose to leave them blank, or if you decide to have your own customized page, then you will enter the address of the page that will be displayed to the non-members. Now, I would want to bring your attention to something that you can monetize from. Scroll down the page and you'll see that there is an option called After Logout. Now, what this means to say is that whenever a member logs out of the members area, they'll be redirected to any address you want. In this case, you should take this opportunity to redirect them to a sales page of an offer or to an affiliate link. Once you're done, remember to click Save. You may choose to skip the other tabs. And now I want you to go to Miscellaneous, and you'll see that there is a list of options where you can choose yes or no. All of these are optional. What I want you to focus on is when you scroll down, there is this option called Show Affiliate Link and Footer. Select No. When you do this, the text powered by Wishlist will not appear on your login and registration pages. You may choose to change the other options any way you want, but most cases, leaving it by default will allow your membership to run as normal. Once you are done, you may click on Save and we will proceed to the next video. Hey there! In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a new membership level within Wishlist. So, if you are starting on a new website, you will not see anything over here. Let's just proceed to add in a new membership level. We'll start off with the first membership level. Key in any name you want. If you plan to have different levels, you will do well to plan the name in advance. For example, I'm just going to call this Gold Membership Level. As you can see on the next column, your registration URL has already been created for you. You can choose to name it however you want, but I recommend you just leave it as it is, so it will be harder for people to guess your registration address. The next step is your redirects. How After Login works is that whenever a member logs in, he or she will see an existing web page of your choice. You can choose to leave this by default, or if you have already created a web page that you want your audience to see first, you can do so. I want to let you know that this is a good opportunity to show a one-time offer if you have any, and this will give you a chance to make money. The next part is called After Registration. This is the first page your member will see as soon as he or she signs up. Again, you can choose to leave this by default or send him or her to a specific web page of your choice. The following step is Access To. You're going to plan to have only one membership level for your membership site, then this will be quite straightforward, as you can opt for all of these options. Or you can just choose to leave these alone if you used to have different membership levels that have access to different pages in your website. Moving on is the length of subscription. If you are doing a monthly membership site, then it will make sense to put in every 30 days. When the payment does not go through, the membership will expire by itself. You must set this up with your payment process, which you can complete through the Integration tab, which will not be covered in this video. Alternately, if this is going to be a lifetime membership where your customer pays only once to have access to your membership site permanently, then you'd want to opt for the No Expiration Date. Now let's have a look at Advanced Settings. This is optional. For the registration requirements, I recommend you opt for Require CAPTCHA Image on registration page, as this protects your registration page against robots and automated sign-ups. If you really want to make sure that your members really want to sign up to your membership site, you can click on the second option, which is the Require Email Confirmation After Registration. The rest of the options can be left alone, although you will do well to check them out and see if you'd like to add on some advanced settings to your membership site. But as far as the basics go, you're pretty much done and you continue to add new level. That's about it. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can further personalize your pages and posts in WordPress using personalization texts, or also known as shortcodes given by Wishlist. First up, I'm going to show you an example of what you can do. It doesn't matter what theme you're using. First, click on Edit and add in Post. Again, this is just an example. What I want to draw your attention to is there is a section here called WLM Shortcodes. When you pull down this menu, you will see that there are shortcodes. Then there will be a list of shortcodes where you can further add into the content of your website. For example, WLM underscore first name and WLM underscore last name means that your member's first name and last name has already been added into the membership site. Another element you would want to focus on will be the WLM underscore login form. You can choose to put this anywhere on the page in the widgets. Therefore, whenever someone logs into the membership site, the page will be further personalized. So here's an example. I'm going to add in a short code, which is the WLM underscore first name. Now I'm going to click Update or Save and view the page. As you can see here, the name of the member is already embedded into the page. This is good for you as it allows your membership site to be widely personalized, as well as giving a better experience to your members. Hello and welcome back. This video tutorial will teach you how to protect your pages. When you have your contents ready to go in your WordPress site, the next thing you would want to do is to tag the pages. That's the purpose of having this membership script. So when you're in the draft mode for pages, and if you scroll below, you may see the wish list member option. The default setting is listed as No, do not protect the content. Non-member can access it. Therefore, anyone can access it. This page is meant for paying members only, so the next thing you would want to do is opt for Yes, protect this content, members only. The next question you'll be asked is select the membership level that can access this content, which means who can access the content. Therefore, if you have only one membership level, then opting for Charter will make sense. However, if you have multiple membership levels, you will have to decide which particular membership level will have access to this page. That's all there is to it. Frankly speaking, you do not have to change your settings, but if you're looking for something more advanced, you can consider enhancing your options further. Once you've updated your page, it'll be protected and no non-members can view this page.